What's up, y'all? Good morning. Let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was kind of a okay day, but it was a fucked up day at the same time. I had to start my day in Missouri and ended up in Tennessee. I'm on my way to North Carolina. I'll be there in a couple hours. But eating wise, it wasn't all that bad because I didn't have any leftovers from the night before from it because I had to throw out the ground meat because I didn't trust it. I ended up going to Love's and buying me some boiled eggs and some cracklings. I ate the boiled eggs, and this time instead of just eating like no flavor or anything, I actually took them out of the packet and threw them in a bowl and threw some Tony Sashers on it, and that was my breakfast. And then I ate the cracklings a little later on. And they're they didn't have any. It was a sugar-free crackling. It was a store-bought brand because the name brands had all kind of sugar and all kind of other ingredients in it. And the cracklings that Loves, it's just pig fat and skin, deep fried and with salt. And it says other natural smoky flavors, which is probably junk that it shouldn't have, but you do what you gotta do. And then last night, whenever I pulled over, I look in the back, and on my little refrigerator, there's all kind of stuff. I'm like, what is that? And I opened my cabinet up, and sure enough, the instant coffee I had bought fell over, and somehow the lid popped off of it, and so coffee was everywhere. About a quarter of the jar of coffee dumped, and so I gotta buy a vacuum to clean out that, and then I had to clean off the coffee grounds off the top of my icebox because it got everywhere. It was on top of my icebox, it was on my bed, it was on the floor. So yeah, it wasn't nice. But anyway, I had some ground meat that I put in the cooler yesterday. One day before yesterday, so it started defrosting. And I'm guessing that either that vacuum sealer I got ain't no good, or the plastics ain't no good, something. But when the stuff defrosts, it's supposedly airtight, but it's defrosted and blood's getting everywhere. If it was airtight, the liquid wouldn't get out of it. But as it defrosted, no blood went all over inside my cooler again. So I still got to clean that. I was just too annoyed to do it last night because I had to do a short break in order to try to get this order delivered on time, because it delivers at 11, and my GPS right now is saying I'm going to be there about 10:10. So I'm stopped right now and figured I was on my little break. I'll go ahead and make this video. But anyway, also what I did last night is I got my skillet down, and now threw that breakfast bacon in there with that turkey bacon in there, and cooked it up. Got it nice and crispy. Jesus. And while that was cooking, I threw some Tonys and ground meat and mixed that up real good together, and then salted and peppered the bacon and flipped it over and cooked it, and then threw some butter in there to help crisp it up. And after that was done, I went ahead and made some hamburger patties. I made 4 of them. A couple of them, they're real fucking thick, honestly a little bit too thick, but I was just too annoyed. I didn't want to sit there all night, cooking patties whenever I needed to get to sleep. So instead of making 8 or 12 of them, I just made 4. Because if I would have made 8 of them, I would have eaten probably 3 or 4 of them at a time anyway. It would have been as thick. Anyway, I put those cooking, and they didn't shrink in thickness but it did shrink in circumference quite a bit too, especially for 90-10 ground meat. 90-10 ground meat doesn't usually shrink that much. But I cooked that up, and then threw some Monterey cheddar, Colby Monterey Jack cheese on it, and it came out pretty good. A lot better than I thought, because I wasn't sure if the meat had gone bad or not. But lo and behold, it was all right. So that's all good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I watched a little bit of Hell on Wheels. I talked to my sister yesterday. She gave me an update on what she's doing and about her kids and whatnot. So that was all right. Now the sun's just coming up here, so it's currently like freaking 7:15 in the morning on the East Coast time. So all right, let me go and let y'all go, and that way I can get back to work. Y'all have a good day.